Hello there YouTube, another video here. This time I'm looking at Mega CD version 1 that I bought off eBay, and I bought this. I must have bought it about, I don't know, about 4 years ago. For those of you who might watch my other videos, you'll see that my surroundings have changed. It's because I moved house, and I bought this just before I moved house, and yeah, I bought it faulty off eBay, and I can't remember what the symptoms were, what the fault was for it. Sorry, I can't even remember how much I paid for it, to be fair, but I reckon it probably would have been about, I don't know, probably between 20 and 30 quid. I wouldn't have spent much more than that on it. I've always wanted one of these when I was a kid. Like, even though, you know, from what I remember when I was a kid, the games weren't that great. There was no titles that I was like, oh, I'd really like to play that or anything like that. It was just a case of drooling over it in the Argos or Index catalogue or Little Woods catalogue, you know, when I was a kid, and thinking, oh, I'd love one. This is my original Mega Drive from when I was a kid, but I never had the Mega CD. I really wanted one just for it. Like I say, all hours spent looking through the Argos catalogue, wishing for one. So when I finally had the opportunity to get one, you know, many years later, I just had to get one. And obviously, with me being me, I bought one faulty off eBay. Now, I have had this powered on to see what the fault was. Well, just to have a quick, even if there was a fault, because before I moved house, I got it, and it literally, I put the two together and I never powered them on. So up until just before I started recording, this thing hasn't been switched on by me in, like, say, 3-4 years easy. So since I've had it, should I say. So I don't know, like I say, I can't remember anything about the eBay listing because it was that long ago. So yeah, I know from turning it on that it's not doing anything, but I'll show you in the video. So yeah, let's get stuck into it. Power's already on, sockets are plugged in over here. Obviously two separate power supplies, one for the Mega Drive and one for the Mega CD. So we'll turn it on. Now, like I said before, I've never had one of these, so I don't really know what it should be doing. But looking at booting other videos on YouTube about them booting up, it should be just a case you switch this on, and then it should boot to the Mega CD BIOS from the power switch on the Mega Drive, and then to open the tray you press the reset button. That's what I think should happen anyways, but we'll see what happens. So power on here, just point TV, there we go, nothing, blank screen, no lights on the Mega CD. So I'll just make sure that the Mega Drive's working. So like I said, I've not had this powered on for years. I know for a fact the last time I played it, it was working, so it should work. Right, there we go. So as you can see there, so the Mega Drive is working, but the Mega CD isn't. So yeah, like I said, I did already before I started the video, because there was no point making a video on something that I bought off eBay years ago and it worked. So I did have a quick test before I started recording it, and because I knew that it wasn't power on, I have already taken the screws out of the Mega CD, but I've not been in it, so I wanted to get it all on video so you guys could watch it too. So yeah, what happens from now on is complete unknown to me. I have no clue whatsoever. So we'll turn that off. Take that out, put that in there. Yeah, I got a game as well ready, £5 as well. There's a retro shop in Derby. I can't remember the name of it, and it's in the Eagle Centre in Derby, and it's quite good. It's where I go. So like I say, it's on the Eagle Centre Market in Derby, and it's pretty good. I can't remember. I think it's Retro World or something like that. But they've got loads of stuff in there. So if you're ever in the Derby area, I strongly suggest getting yourself there. They've got loads of stuff, and they're quite reasonably priced as well. Like I say, £5 for a Mega CD game. You know, quite a good deal really. So, like I said, I've already taken the screws out of the Mega CD. So I've already taken them out, but I've not been in here. So what we're going to see now is completely unknown to me as well. So figure out how it all comes apart. I'm hoping I'm taking this apart right. Yeah, there we go. Now what? Straight away, like I said, I've looked at a few other YouTube videos out there, and straight away I know that there should be one of these shields over this, and that's obviously missing. And also, normally these fail on capacitors, the surface mount capacitors, and all these capacitors have been changed. Tape here. Loads of flux residue. Yeah, all these capacitors have been replaced. Not very well either. Oh my days. I don't know. So, all the capacitors, there should be surface mount capacitors, and I can tell that they've been changed. Because, yeah, there's loads of flux residue all the way around them. On this connector here, it's melted. Probably where with the soldering iron, they've melted it. So I'm just seeing what I can see at the minute. Just a visual inspection. I know that there's a fuse. I know the camera's not going to pick this up too well, but there's a fuse just here in this corner, and it says F1 on it, so I know that's a fuse. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to test that. Fuse is okay. Right. See, I don't. I'm seeing. I'm sure that normally that CPU chip there is not socketed. I'm sure normally it's soldered right onto the board as well. And if I look, the camera's not going to pick it up too well, but just here there's a whole load of like distortion on the chip. Oh, and this chip here, I'm not sure what chip it is, but this looks like it's been took off and put back on. Yeah, definitely. Definitely that's been took off and been put back on. Right. I'm gonna take this board out. Try to anyway. Well, it's obvious that this Mega CD's been messed about with previously. I do know that there is a BIOS mod for a multi-region BIOS mod for for the Mega CD. So maybe that's what's been someone's done to this, is multi-regioned it back in the day, maybe. But then I can't understand why that chip there would have been taken off. Yeah, I don't think the camera's going to pick it up very well at all, but it looks to me like even the legs on it not even looking like they've been lined up properly. I mean, probably I've bought a lemon here where someone's used it to maybe fix another one, maybe. It's hard to tell at the minute, but it's not looking promising. The other board looks okay. On another YouTube video, there was someone saying that this regulator here can get black from where the wrong power has been put into it. Normally you get a black spot on it to show that it's faulty, but I can't see that there. But we'll test that in a minute. We'll test to make sure that it is okay. So we'll put that there for a minute and have a closer look at this. Yeah, this is not looking good. This is not looking good at all. Loads of flux residue there, and then this connector here, I can see that someone's reworked that. looks like there's that last pin's not. Yeah, this is not looking good, people. And this is what happens when you buy stuff off eBay, I guess. You know, you're buying other people's stuff that they've messed about with. And there's a capacitor here that's got a burn mark on the side, whether or not that's an indication that it's failed or it's where it's been caught with the soldering iron. Because if I look here, this socketed chip, I'm more than likely thinking it's where it's been caught with the soldering iron on this socket. Right, let's get it underneath the microscope and see what we can see. It's not looking brilliant at the minute. I mean, the thing is that you just don't know. You know, even though, I mean, I wouldn't even be bothered if I don't get it to work, to be fair, because I've just sat on the side is okay by me. But you know, I would like to get it to work. But the thing is that when you buy these things off eBay, you just don't know what you're getting. These things that have been molested big time. You know, from even from people back in the day doing modding stuff. You know, they wouldn't use a microscope. They just do it all by eye, and you know, fair play to them. But the thing is, you end up doing more damage. So you just don't know what you're getting, really. That's what I'm pretty much trying to say. You know. And the thing is, you've got to be a bit clever as well, because you don't want to be spending over the odds for something, and then you get it, and it's been like, I know I wouldn't have paid much for this, but how much that was, I couldn't honestly say. So I'll put it to the TV now. You'll be able to. Bye. I'm just gonna stop the video there, because what I'll do is I'll switch the camera around so you can get a better view of the PCB. Okay, hopefully that's a bit of a better view. Sorry, I can't zoom it out no more than that. I record everything on my phone. It's just easier for me. I'd love to you know, rig up a camera and all that, but the thing is, these videos are pretty much done on the fly, just with the video, so you can see the state of the capacitors there that have been soldered on, legs long, etc. But the most thing, let's see if we can get it in, is that's the other chip. That's the Sanyo one. I'm just trying to get the other one in. So for some weird reason, my camera is just massive all the time, and I can't seem to zoom it out anymore. So, but this is the chip that has been took off and been put back on again. So I was trying to do this so you can see there. That doesn't look like it's on to me. No. Epic fail. Oh, got a bridge as well. We've got a bridge. So I'm not doing this too well. So we've got a bridge just there. That doesn't look like it's on to me. Just a mess really, just an absolute mess. Yeah, that's not on. I'm really sorry. It's just upside down and back to front. I'm trying my hardest, just so you can sort of see what I can see. This is not good at all. Not good. So where's that? In that corner there. So yeah. 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 Loose-ish. Yeah, you get the idea that it's just a mess, and we've got a bridge just there as well. I think we can zoom out. We've got a bridge just there. So not good at all. Not good at all. But why? Has this chip been took off? And then you know, a good chip took off and this board's been used as a donor board? I don't know. I don't know. This is the honest answer. They don't look too bad. It's alright, I'm upside down and wrong way around again. They don't look like they're doing much. No. That one's okay. That one's not. That definitely doesn't look solid to me. No, that one's alright. Yeah, I think you can just pretty much work out how that is just dreadful. So yeah. Right, well, if I just, what I'll do is I'll take the camera off the tripod, off the and I'll do an overview of the PCB a bit more close up, so you can see what it is that I see. So I'll just take it off now. So here we go, here's that chip. As you can see there, plain as day that something's not right there. And then you've got the quality of the capacitors that have been put on. There's that connector, that doesn't look right to me. I should have had a look at that on the on the microscope. I'll have to have a better look. But yeah, the only things I can see so far, whether or not that is, so that's what I mean, you can see the rippling there. Now, has that been caused when they've been trying to solder that chip back on, or do whatever they've done? And you can see on the side of that cap there, there's a burn mark. So yeah, this has been well played about with. Judging by the quality of the work, not very well at all. So you can see there that that's factory, and that's just a mess. Yeah, but like I said, you know, could I do any better without the tools that I've got now? You know, maybe not. So if it's done back in the day, if it was a repair done back in the day, but then I can't ever see it working with the whole of the bottom of these legs. None of them are soldered to the board, and you can see there, even with the naked eye, that they're not soldered in. And then on the other side, there's at least 6 or 7 that are not soldered in. So, you know, very poor, but you know, you can only work with what you got, I guess. Like I say, you can see that distortion on the side of the socket, you know. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to clean this chip up. I'll resolder it. I'll clean the whole board up. I'll have a look under the microscope, because that pad, the one that's nearest the one, does not look good at all. Does not look happy. So I'll give it a good clean. I'll solder this up first, and then I'll go around the rest of it. And then, you know, we could be looking at a new cap kit, but I would have thought that you know, even though they've not been sold, like you can see massive legs like that on there, you know, shouldn't be making any shorts, but you never know. So what I'll do is I'll just clean it all up. I'll do this chip first, then clean the board up. I'll inspect this socket. So like I say, here's the underside as well. You can see, yeah, that C17 doesn't look very happy. It's got like a, I don't know whether or not that's a pop in the middle of it or what. I mean, you look at the other ones, look quite square and nice, and that one's got a big fat dent in the middle of it. So yeah, and you can see all the flux residue on the board. Like I say, you can see that socket's been redone. Why, I don't know. And then looks like, yeah, there's that's for the capacitors that have been redone. So yeah, okay, right, let's crack on. We'll sort this chip out, and then we'll go from there. So I just wanted to show you quickly that that pin 1. Just show you here. Sorry, really bad tripod camera action. If I just move that over just slightly a bit, but that's pin 1. I'm sorry if you're not getting that too well. There we go. Sorry about this. But yeah, that's pin 1 on that connector in the corner. And if I just show you, just sorry, I'm looking through the viewfinder on, but there we go. That's wobbly as well, and it looks like it should be connected, which makes me laugh because they've scraped off the side here. They've scraped off the side to bridge it, and they haven't. But why do that? Did they forget? So this is what's really making me worried now. You know, is this just been bodged on just to put it back together and sell on? You know, I don't know. It's definitely looking that way to me. You know. So yeah, you can see where they've actually used maybe a fiberglass pen to remove this, because you can see the fibres in it that have got stuck in the hole. But then why not just bridge it to this bit here? I don't know. I don't know. I'll just show you the rest of it. See that pin there as well, pin 2. I think that's pin 2, or the one next to pin 1 anyway. Is that one connected? There's movement there, it's not very good. Not very good. If that's connected, I'm going to be very, very, very surprised. Hard to tell. Hard to tell on that one. That one looks okay. That doesn't. Which one's that one? Oh no. Oh, very sorry again. I really wish I could make the camera smaller, because through my viewfinder on the, not the viewfinder, through my actual microscope, through the eyepiece, this is massive, huge, and I can see this individually, but through the camera it's just massive on the TV, and no matter how much I zoom out, it won't zoom out anymore. If I just show you, see that? See? That's in, and that's as far out as it goes, so I don't know. I don't know. Very ropey. Very ropey. Oh, what's that there? Look at a massive blob of solder just there. That's actually burnt in as well. See, is there a trace there that... Yeah, look, there's a trace there. Oh my days. Oh my days. You see that? Trace just here. Burn mark just here, or whatever that is. And a trace just there. Yeah. I'm hoping that this has just been, you know, a console DIY. Well, you know, like me, because I mean, I'm no better than anybody else. You know, I'm just the same as you guys out there watching. You know, I'm just I don't know. You know, I've never been trained or anything like that. You know, this is just having a go. You know, like my mate Vince. You know, I think we're all like him at the end of the day. We all like to have a go. But I think sometimes, you know, it's the dishonesty of the things, you know, when you buy something and it's been clearly bodged around with, you know, but the thing is, I guess, if you was honest, you'd never sell anything, would you? So, right, what I'm going to do now is, because there's plenty of videos out there of reflowing these and, you know, soldering these legs up and on these surface mount chips. So I won't bore you to death of that, otherwise we're going to end up with a really long video. But what I'll do is you've seen the before, and I'll do an after. I'll clean this chip up. I'm going to do that header as well. Then I'm going to clean the whole board. Once I've done all that, I'll come back, you know, because at the end of the day, you can't, unfortunately, I've not got the a quality camera. I'm just literally using a mobile phone to record this, but I wanna share my videos. I wanna share my experiences, because you know, especially watching other channels as well, watching what they do. It's inspirational, really. You know, because I'm, like I said to you just previously, I'm not from a background of electronics, you know, and everything that I've learned off YouTube. So, you know, if just putting this video out there can help somebody else out, you know, then or even just entertain someone for 20 minutes, that's what it's all about in my view. So yeah, I'll do this chip, I'll rework this chip, I'll redo that header connector, and then once I've done all that, I'll come back to it. But just on a side note, looking at the back of the PCB, that the socket, it looks quite factory to me. The socket looks very factory. So from the other side, the solder, I mean, you've seen the quality of the solder work on the the capacitors and that chip. It's not very good, but on the socket it is very good. So I think the damage that's been caused here has been solely from this chip, when they've messed around with this chip and put in this. Looking at it, I would say that this chip has been took off after the recap kit's been done. The recap's been done, because there's a burn mark on the side of that cap. So what I'll do is I'll clean it all up, redo this chip, redo that header connector, and if I find anything else that I've seen, I'll check the continuity on that. But I might do that on camera once I've cleaned this up. Once I've cleaned this up, I'll check the continuity of that trace that's been peeled up. So once I've done all that, I'll come back. Okay, back in a sec. Okay, back. So I've cleaned up the board as best I can for now. I don't want to really spend hours and hours on it and it not coming good, you know, and boring you guys off to death, because, you know, I don't know whether or not this is ever going to work again, the amount it's been bodged around with. But so I don't know if you can tell too well, but that was the chip there that had been took off and put back on and messed around with, and loose legs on that chip and what have you. So I've redone that, and just in the lower corner there where that cap is burnt, there was a lifted pad. So I've managed to redo that pad, but the chip itself is actually, I don't know if it's going to pick it up too well on the video, but the chip itself is actually a little bit twisted, and I could have took it off. And straightened it out, but my thinking is, do I really want to spend that amount of time on a chip where it's questionable if it's going to work or not? So what I then ended up doing was I put I ran a wire, a bridging wire to that pin there, to one of the vias on the other, which goes through the other side. So hopefully that'll be okay. But continuity tested it all, and it's all fine. I've checked the legs, and the legs are all soldered down now correctly. There's none loose, so hopefully that'll do there. The top connector, I bridged it to the point next to it. Which side was it? Yeah, pin 1. So the bit where the, like you saw on the TV, the bit that they scraped off and got down to copper, I just bridged it over to that. There was loads of these pins though that were loose, so that's not good, because I think this is the power input side, and I think this is the CD side. So if you're not getting good power, maybe that's one of the reasons why it's not working. But I'm just clutching at straws here because I don't really know. So yeah, and this the socket. You know, if I get it where I think continuity tested it, and like I said, this is factory. You can tell that because that solder work there's perfect. You know, so hopefully that'll be okay. But what I'll do is if it'll be okay to test on now, but if we get it working, then obviously I'll remove this socket and put a new socket in, and do a proper job of it. And also if we get it running again, I'll change the save battery. But the thing is, there's no point doing all that if it's dead. Do you know what I mean? Because like I say, obviously someone's had a really good play with this. So right, let's put it back together. I'm just gonna put it together very, very loosely. I'm not gonna put it together correctly. Now, which way did that go? Did it go like that? I have no idea. See, even this wire, this ribbon, it should loop through that other loop through on the other side, and it hasn't. So no, I'm not holding my breath here on this one at all. Like I say, and someone with half a brain, as you know, who knew what they were doing. There's no doubt about that, you know. But I should have put that ribbon in first. Let's take that ribbon back out. Not really inspected the other board that much, to be fair, so maybe if this doesn't work, if it doesn't do anything, we can have a nosy at the other board. As far as the replacement capacitors go, you know, that could be something. It will probably, if it doesn't work, it will be something I'll look at, because obviously, you know, they've not been put in the best. Let's put in the chip first. Probably would have been an idea to put the socket chip in before I put the board in, but never mind. Really don't like the feel of this socketed chip. I'm gonna remove the board. I don't really want to ruin the chip. Should have done this first, but let's get it sorted now. So we don't want to. I definitely don't want to ruin this. Thing is, the socket itself is in a right state, so maybe I shouldn't be doing this at all. And what I'm going to do is just very quickly, I'm just going to continuity test that chip just to make sure all those are okay. Not my usual multimeter here, just using a very that one's okay, that's okay, that's okay, that's okay, that's okay, that's okay. So far so good. Yeah, I knew it would be okay, but I just wanted a bit of peace of mind there. Yeah, it just eliminates that bit of doubt. Is the socket completely mashed or what? But no, that's fine. So, right, let's get back to where we were. Let's get this baby in. Yeah, like I was saying earlier, I always wanted one of these as a kid, big time. Really wanted one, you know, but just so expensive back in the day, and like I say, there was no real need for it, because the thing is the games themselves were so expensive that you couldn't afford any games for it when you even got one. So yeah, like I say, it's many hours spent drooling over the Index catalogue and the Argos catalogue. Oh, same with the 32X, you know, I'd love one of them. But even on eBay at the minute, faulty ones are going for quite a lot of money. So these ribbons I will put back properly. Thing is, I look at that connector and I can see all the pins are all quite pushed back, bar one where it doesn't even line up with the rest of them. So, you know, but I can't understand why these chips have been took out, you know. But maybe there is a good reason for it, and I just don't know. I don't say I don't know. I'm sure I didn't have this much trouble taking these ribbons in and out before. Take this one back out again. So this is where I'm going to end up breaking something that's not even related to to the fault. Some we'll put this back on so I don't fancy. Is it or isn't it? I'm not feeling too confident, I must say. Well, here we go. Is it or isn't it? I'm going isn't. Oh! I definitely saw lights flash up on the front of that. Just tell you that. I definitely saw the lights flash. So just get out of here. Definitely. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. Get in. not sure what's going off here, but I think the reset. We've got access light flashing. When I press I think it's the connection now. It's nuts. Seems to be. It says ready. We've got the green ready light. Okay, the CD player, reading the disc. I'm pressing the start button but nothing's happening, but I'm using a dodgy pad. Let's try again. Just turn the I can hear the disc spinning. You can see that access light flashing. I've never used one of these, so I ain't got a clue how it works. I'm just going to try a Mega Drive game just to see if the start button works. Yeah. Right, that works fine. Right, I don't think it's reading the discs. I don't think it's reading it. I can hear it spinning. But then that's it. You get the... You can see that, I don't know if you can see that, the access light flashes up. But I think we're having some connection issues as well on the... on that as well, probably because I've just bodged it together. So... got any music CDs in here, just to try. I can hear the CD spinning, but I can't hear anything else. So what we'll do is I'll stop the video here, I'll strip it back down and get to the CD, and then I'll start the video back again after that. So back in a sec. Okay guys, right, I've stripped it down, cleaned the lens, and yeah, and you can see that access light flashing every now and again. I don't know if you can see the CD, yeah, you can just about make it out spinning around, and it just literally sits there. Now looking online, there's not a lot of info out there, because it actually does something else, and I'll show you just quickly. I'll have to do it just very quickly. So you can see there, just hangs, doesn't do anything, just spins. But if I put a music CD in, yeah, so press the start button, so it's recognised the disc, and there we go. And I don't want to play too much of this. Bit of old school dance music, but it plays a music CD fine, but it's not playing game CDs, so it's not playing games, should I say. And looking a bit into it, is there's not many, having a quick Google search, there's not much info out there about not playing games and playing CDs. I've done a quick Google search, and there is a few cases out there, and no one seems to have figured out what actually is the fault. But I did read one where it said the capacitors after a cap change, this is what happened. So a couple of people, it was working beforehand, and then they've done a cap change, and then it stopped working. So it might have something to do with that. So what I'm going to do is we've got it working again, which is a lot better than how it was before. So as far as getting it back to life, we're halfway there, but obviously it's not reading the game. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do revisit this. So for now, this will be the end of the video. Then I'll if I can get any further with it, I'll revisit it and show you what I've done. But what I'm planning to do is I'm going to order all the caps that I need to replace on the power board and on the audio board and on the main board as well. But I'm actually thinking that maybe that's why someone's took out that chip. Now, I don't know what that chip was. Maybe it could be a RAM. I don't think so, because the top ones look more like RAM to me. Maybe that could be a NAND chip, a game chip or something like that, and maybe that's what someone's thought. Take it out, maybe. I don't know. I'm just guessing. And maybe they were having this issue beforehand. So the issue they were having was it not playing games. I'm totally happy that the laser's fine, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's still got to read the data off the disc, whether it be a music CD or a game disc. So I think the problem actually lies within deciphering the data from the CD into the game format. It's obviously working with the music CD, but not that. So what I'm going to do is a few things. I'm going to do a cap kit, change the whole caps, all of them. I'm going to change that BIOS, the CPU, sorry, not the BIOS, the CPU. Well, I think it is the BIOS as well. The CPU socket, because that was completely knackered. And then I'm going to take all the caps off, clean them up, clean up all the pads, really give the board an inspection. What I'll do is, when I'm about to do all that and I've got all the bits ready, I'll do a part 2 video, and we'll take it from there, trying to fix it again. And then, you know, if we don't fix it, you'll see what the next process is, regardless. So, okay, thanks everyone, and don't forget to like, subscribe, share. You can also catch me on Twitter, because this is my hobby. I enjoy it. I'm not a professional. This isn't a how-to fix or anything like this. This is just trying to fix classic games consoles, or even anything. I like to fix anything. But if you've got something that you want me to have a look at, just get in touch with me through Twitter. I don't charge for repairs or anything like that. It's just a hobby, just something I enjoy doing. So yeah, if you want me to repair something for you, just get in touch with me through Twitter. It's Coatum3, at Coatum3 on Twitter. So if you wanna send me a message or whatever, you can do it through there, or send me a message through YouTube, whichever. So yeah, hopefully I'll be revisiting this very soon. Just want to thank you all for your time. Cheers.